beyond and sort of quiet the questions, but they've really struggled to do so over the last several days.
Yeah, I don't think a long-form interview with Joe is going to fix those issues. Let's go to Steve in Sparta, who has a comment on Biden. Steve, you're next on Super Talk.
Hey, Chris.
How we doing, man?
They're going to lock him in the Situation Room in the White House, and they're going to do AI-generated fireside chats to show how lucid he is.
I don't know why they haven't done AI with him yet. It seems like they should have this technology up and running. And you see the lousy edits that they make on a 2-minute video on Twitter. It blows my mind that they haven't done this already.
I know.
It's a joke. Appreciate the call. Let's go to Mark in the borough who wants to talk about the SCOTUS decision. Mark, you're on Super Talk. What's up, man?
Yeah, the way the Democrats interpreted that, Biden could knock off Harris and everything would be cured. They could just pick their candidate.
Honestly. I mean, you saw...
That's what they said.
There were
the president can do anything and he's free.
Yep, there were so many Democrats who were saying, well, now Biden can send the military after SCOTUS. Like, that's not exactly what's happening. It's unbelievable. Appreciate the call, Mark. You know, Joe has it so bad right now that I feel like I need to coin a new term. I'm going to call it Joe-social distancing, because Democrat candidates from the Senate and for the House, they're moving away from him. They're distancing themselves from Biden because of his terrible debate performance. Many down-ballot Democrat candidates in battleground states or districts are facing increased headwinds come November because of Joe's lack of popularity. A post-debate forecast from The Economist gave Trump a 73% chance of victory in November. 73% chance of victory in November. Trump leads Biden by 6 points in the probability of winning the popular vote in November, according to Nate Silver's election model forecasted post-debate. A party's lead candidate, such as Biden, they should be attracting voters for down-ticket candidates. That should be a net positive, but that hope is gone. That is DOA for a lot of House and Senate Democrat candidates, because nobody wants to even be near Biden. They don't want anything to do with Biden. One lawmaker told Axios, I don't ever want to see him here, talking about Biden, adding every single donor, and I'm only calling major donors, is furious and wants him to step aside. Swing District Democrat House members are freaking out about Biden's impact on their races, a senior House Democrat said, based on discussions with them. I'm still processing what happened Thursday night. Rep. Angie Craig, a Democrat out of Minnesota, told the Wall Street Journal. It was a terrible debate. We all have to acknowledge that. Rep. Mary Peltola out of Alaska, Democrat, a new member of Congress who represents a Republican-leaning district, told Axios she is not thinking about anybody's race but my own. Republicans believe that they can flip the Senate and potentially retain the House they believe that before the debate. And now they feel like they have an even greater chance of winning the Senate and the House because all bets appear off after the debate. I love the thought of us taking the Senate, taking the House, having the Supreme Court, having the presidency, but we can't celebrate yet. We can't. We have to keep grinding. We have to keep having conversations. I've said it a couple times. We're in a unique position in Tennessee where we know a lot of people that know a lot of people that are out of state. Make phone calls. Talk to your people. Talk to your friends. Talk to your family. We cannot take November for granted. We have to keep working. And Republicans can believe that they can flip the Senate, retain the House. I'm fine with that. I like the optimism. But we can't just stop running the race now. We can't. Even with the Democrats freaking out, we can't stop running. Going into witness protection doesn't change the fact that House Democrats knew for months that Joe Biden wasn't fit to serve. National Republican Congressional Committee spokesperson Will Reinert said of the Democrats distancing themselves from Biden. Exactly. They have known for so long how bad Joe Biden is. But when they get on TV, they say, well, behind closed doors, he's doing great. Behind closed doors, he is so sharp. Behind closed doors, he's the smartest guy we know. Hours of tape on this. Many Democrats saying the exact same thing. We can't let them get away with it. We need to keep the pressure on now more than ever. More than ever. Jeff in Charlotte, you're next on Super Talk. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, Chris. Good morning. I was listening to you read the thing about Democrats voting with their conscience, but I'm getting to the Biden thing in a minute. But let me ask you, when's the last time you met a Democrat with a conscience?
Fair enough. We'll have Mason fact check it. I don't think there's many cases.
I'm driving down the road. Let me pull off on the side here. But you asked about a replacement for Biden. Now here's my thought on it. Why do we care who the replacement is as long as we vote him out?
Fair enough.
You know, there's not a Democrat on the face of this planet that agrees with anything that Biden has said that any of us would want in office.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that the replacement conversation has some weight if it A, comes to pass, and B, if it's Michelle Obama, we do have a fight.
Yeah, do we really?
I think we do. I think we do. The programming runs deep with younger voters and the Obamas.
Yeah,
like they have been new voters, voters who it was their first time voting and they voted for Obama. That's going to be an uphill battle to break that conditioning, that Obama good.
Well, you're making me feel old now because I was a younger voter when Reagan was running for office. So.
I know, but we have to be honest with ourselves. It's been what?
You're right.
You know,
you're right.
It's 16 years since Obama was president. So you got people who are my age. You know, I'm 35. The first presidential election that I could vote in was Obama. You have people that have been propagandized for over a decade about how good this guy was. And you have kids that went through the indoctrination system in school for 10 plus years about how great Obama was. That's going to be a lot of conditioning that we have to break through if it is Michelle Obama that replaces him. And anybody that tells you any different, they're not telling you the truth. If they replace Joe Biden with Michelle Obama, that is scary.
Yeah, because the older voters aren't going to be the ones to win this election.
100%. 100%. It's going to be new voters and you know, Gen Z, millennials. That's going to really swing this election.
But all these people that want to argue that Biden has done anything whatsoever for our veterans, I am a veteran, and I spent 10 years fighting to get my benefits, but it wasn't until Trump that I was able to get my benefits, and I'm getting everything covered but my teeth under Trump.
Jeff, thank you for your service, man, and I'm glad to hear that you're getting your stuff taken care of. You guys deserve everything.
And yesterday I had to drive down to Middle Alabama to pick up my father, but I was listening to you while I could pick you up on the radio, and you were talking about this sissy guy that was this some sort of influencer that says, why don't they just call SEAL Team 6? Harry
Sisson. Yep. He's a sword boy.
I couldn't even care less who he is, honestly. But he was talking about using SEAL Team 6. Well, that would be an unlawful order. And they would then be illegal to abide by that order.
Exactly, but and a lot of the Democrats understand that, but they have to lean on fear and emotion right now. That's the only thing that they can campaign on: fear and emotion.
Right, because they don't understand the difference between a lawful and an unlawful order. An unlawful, because and you had a Marine called in yesterday that said they're not defending the president, they're defending the Constitution. And if you read the oath of office, it also says against all enemies, both foreign and domestic.
Yep.
That would make him a domestic enemy.
100%. You're absolutely right, Jeff. Thanks for your service, man. I appreciate the call. It's 11:21 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, it's Chris Hand for my friends at Paul Winkler Inc. You know Paul, I know Paul. He hosts the Investor Coaching Show here on WTN every Saturday from 3 to 6. I was a fan of Paul's show before I started working with Paul. Before I even met Paul, I was learning from Paul because of his show every Saturday on WTN. You can learn a lot from listening to that show, but you can learn a lot more from Paul by making a phone call to Paul Winkler Inc. today. Now, a lot of guys will sell you a bill of goods, but Paul's team, they want honesty, they want transparency, and they want me to tell you right away that I get paid to do these commercials. And that's the honest truth. Paul wants to make sure you know. I don't know where else you hear that, and I like that. Here's another thing about Paul's team. They hold themselves to the highest level of fiduciary status. That's huge. Another thing, they don't do anything on commission. Also huge. But they want to educate you every step of the way, so you never get the uneasy feeling of blind trust. You want to be able to relax with your money? Well, then you should talk to Paul and his team. They're going to look at your whole financial picture and then help you make some decisions, because your financial picture is going to be unique to you. But it starts with a 15-minute phone call today. Even if you already have a financial planner, you get second opinions for lots of things. Get a second opinion on your financial future, too. Go to paulwinkler.com, set up your 15-minute phone call. That's paulwinkler.com.
I still got the traffic problem there, 24 westbound in Rutherford County. It looks like they have just cleared the crash there in Laverne. So that is going to help out tremendously. The delay is still 64 minutes, but the crash there in Laverne that had closed 24 westbound has been cleared. Looks like the interstate has been reopened, except for the on-ramp from Sam Ridley Parkway in Smyrna. We got the top stories coming up at 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Ken Weaver. It's 11:26 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. We got a couple people waiting on the line. Let's go to Dave in Nashville real quick. Dave, thanks for holding. What you got?
Yeah, thanks for taking my call. I totally agree with you about Michelle and Obama. I've been thinking that for a long time. My big question is, tell me if I'm wrong. we've been hearing for several years a sitting president can't be indicted, right?
Yep.
Why? Because he has immunity.
Isn't that weird?
He has immunity.
Yep.
And they're totally lying, saying, you know, he's above the law. It's they're talking like the Supreme Court just came up with this.
Yeah, this is what they do.
It blows my mind, or am I missing something?
No, you're not missing anything, but the left sees this as an opportunity to get past Joe Biden and do, you know, it's for the future of the country. We can't let the Supreme Court take away our rights. So they're gonna use this. They're going to manipulate it through fear, and they're going to try and make this election about anything but Joe Biden and his age and his dementia.
I totally agree. Now, here's my second question, because you're more articulate than me. I've got to face my sister in a couple of weeks. She lives in New York. She's an extreme commie. She's an ex-postmaster. She married a farmer up there.
Okay.
She's got 2 or 3 college degrees free. I'm giving you the background. She's an extreme commie, okay?
Yeah.
How can I get through to her? We already don't speak on the phone anymore.
So
how can I?
Here's what I would say, and I mean, take it for what it's worth, because I don't know your sister, but one of the ways that I've found is the best to wake people up is find one thing. So you mentioned she's a farmer. So
she married a farmer.
She's an
ex-postmaster.
But, well, you know, so she understands food independence, right?
Right.
So I would go into the fact that there's poison in our food. That you go in with, the government's been lying to us about what's been safe to eat. What else are they lying about? What else are they lying about? Find one thing that you can sink your teeth into that they can agree with you, and then plant a seed. Because this happened to so many people during COVID. It's like once you woke up to one lie, it's like, oh, crap, what else are they lying about?
I think she's had 4 shots, by the way.
Well, I mean, that's you know.
I think she's had 4 jabs. She'll tell you. She'll do whatever the government says as long as the Democrats are running it. She said one time she'd pay an extra $1 a gallon for gas.
Yikes.
She'd be willing to do that.
Yeah. I mean, that's a tough one, man. And I have a sister that's pretty similar, and we don't talk much at all anymore either.
Her daughter is a political science professor.
Oh, yikes! Yeah, that's gonna be an uphill battle, Dave. I mean, I feel you, man. I have a sister that's the exact same way, and it's like I did turn my younger sister over to the conservative side, and it was kind of like the advice I'm giving you, and it was during COVID. I said, you know, I leaned in on what they're doing with the kids. And
I'll try what you said about the food. I'll try it.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth a try. I would just, you know your sister better than anybody. Find something that she can agree with you that the government lied about. And then use that to expand out. That's my best advice. That's my best advice.
Thanks a lot, man.
Hey.
I listen to you a lot, so that means okay.
I appreciate you, Dave, and I mean, it is an uphill battle, but it's a battle worth fighting, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm 70, she's 72, so.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And then, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, just trying. If you're 70 and she's 72, at a certain point, just say screw it and enjoy some time with your sister. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, man. Hey, thanks a lot.
Appreciate you, Dave. It's 11:31 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. And again, good news about that crash investigation there that had 24 shut down in Rutherford County. They have cleared the crash. So traffic should be speeding up momentarily. Right now, the delay is still 45 minutes. The sad news is that one person did lose their life in that crash. Elsewhere in Nashville, a man has been arrested for allegedly beating another man to death outside of Top Golf in East Nashville Saturday night. Metro police say 41-year-old Dehal Umesh was among members of Nashville's Nepali community attending a concert, was trying to break up a fight in the parking lot when he was punched, causing him to fall and hit his head. He was then kicked in the head. Umesh died this morning from his injuries. Police arrested 26-year-old Bishal Rai at his home in Antioch last night on an aggravated assault charge, which will be upgraded to criminal homicide now that Umesh has died. Rai is being held without bond. Ticketmaster out with an email to customers after its parent company announced in May it was investigating a data breach that could involve personal information. News Channel 5 says the email sent last night says to keep an eye on bank accounts, and even if you were not affected, still a good idea to change passwords. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Thank you, Ken. It's 11:32 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. If you're having people come over to your home this weekend for the 4th of July festivities, the last thing you want is to run into an issue with your AC. That's the last thing you want. And there's a way to avoid it. Well, you call my friends at Busy Bee and you get that annual maintenance done so you make sure your system is running at maximum peak efficiency. You're going to need it if everybody's opening and closing those doors all weekend long. Now, one of the ways to go about this is becoming a member of the Beehive Club. When you become a member of the Beehive Club, this is not a lot of money that we're talking about. It's only $99, and it pays for itself instantly. When you're a Beehive Club member, you get 3 annual tune-ups, 1 for your plumbing, 1 for your heating, 1 for your cooling. You get a 10% discount on all repairs. They tack a $100 annual accrued replacement credit with a maximum of $1,000 on to when you need to replace your system. You get no overtime or holiday fees and exclusive Beehive member promotions. It will pay for itself to become a member of the Beehive Club. But if you've been kicking the can on maintaining your AC system, now's the time to do it. If you've been kicking the can on replacing your AC system, well, you're not going to find a better value on replacement systems. Busy Bee offers up to 12 months with no payment, no interest with approved credit. Busy Bee's your Rude Pro partner. For satisfaction guaranteed, call Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. 615-775-7833. That's 615-775-7833. Online at busybeehvac.com.
Hey, it's Dan Mandis, and I am so glad that California Closets has fixed my closet catastrophe. After exact measuring and planning, they came over and got to work. Yeah, once it was all plotted out on their 3D CAD system, the pieces are measured, cut, and precisely installed into my space. It was clean, fast, and professional, and above all, my new closets look and function great. Now, this was my dormer, and now this is my new dormer thanks to California Closets. Look at all of this added space for shirts and shoes, you name it, and it is cut so precisely, simply amazing. And my old closet that has now been reborn as the ultimate in style and functionability, making the best use of the space that I had. They can work on just about anything: bedrooms, garages, home offices, closets, pantries, and so much more. Find them online, CaliforniaClosets.com, and see what they can do for you. You can schedule a free design consultation. Mention my name, CaliforniaClosets.com.
We have to win more. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand, 1137. The number to join the show is 615-737-9986. There's been a lot of winning this week. A lot of winning. And you can read the headlines. They're fun to read. Democrat candidates distance themselves from Joe Biden. Yep. That's a good move. Big donors effing worried. Yep. Well, that tracks. Hollywood donors abandoning ship. Yep. Not shocked about that. Not shocked about that one bit. The one thing that did surprise me, like all things, inflation is creeping up. The political ad spending expected to hit for the 2024 cycle. The ad spending in 2024 is expected to be a record-breaking $10.7 billion. $10.7 billion on political ads this election cycle. The spending for 2023-2024 includes an increase in broadcast cable and CTV ads, according to a new report by Ad Impact. The projection is a 19% increase over ad spending in the 2020 election. Biggest ad spenders, I looked up the biggest ad spenders just in America. And in 2021, Procter & Gamble, they are the largest advertiser worldwide. And they spend $8.1 billion on ads in 2021. So we're trumping the largest ad spender worldwide in 2021 dollars. And I mean, Procter & Gamble, $8.1 billion. They have companies everywhere. I mean, they own everything. Tide, Vicks, Mr. Clean, Bounty, Cascade, Old Spice, Duracell, Dawn, Pampers. They own everything. They only spent $8.1 billion in ads in 2021. The expected ad revenue coming in for the 2024 cycle is going to be around $10.7 billion. It's going to get crazy. It's going to be expensive. There's news coming out that Trump is up 4 in Michigan. Trump is also up 2 in New Hampshire, which is wild because a Republican hasn't won New Hampshire in decades. The poll in New Hampshire was the St. Anselm College poll, and it found that of those aware of the Thursday night debate, 54% of New Hampshire voters believe Trump won. The next highest was neither at 39%. Biden only took 6% winning the debate in New Hampshire in one poll. So this actually shows the debate had a big impact in New Hampshire. In a 6-way race, including third-party and independent candidates, Trump leads the field with 44% compared to Biden's 42%. And 76% of the voters said they were committed to their vote. Biden won New Hampshire in 2020, and Republicans haven't won New Hampshire in decades. So this is, I mean, you look at what's happening around the country when it comes to the polls. It looks good. It looks good. And the election model from Nate Silver, who is pretty well known for his election model forecasts, he put out a new one after the first presidential debate, and they even have President Trump winning the popular vote in November. The last Republican to win the popular vote was George W. Bush in 2004. This is some earth-shattering stuff. The Democrats are going to feel the pressure to do something. Let's go to Charles in Lebanon. You think that the Dems are going to bring in Michelle Obama?
No, I don't. I think they got more sense than that. Even though they're weak-minded, I don't think they're bringing in an idiot like that.
Well, what do you?
She was never proud of America until her husband come in, and you know what? We didn't think much about people stealing elections until that idiot come in there. But when he come in, that's when I started thinking. I know they stole the Trump-Biden election, but
Well, and you don't even have to go down the list of fake ballots and running votes twice. You don't even have to. You don't have to go. But you don't have to prove it with that. You can prove it by saying the CIA knew the laptop was real and had all their intelligence officials sign the letter saying it was disinformation. And some of those guys still had security clearances.
The Department of Justice, FBI, all of them in cahoots, and all of them are for that idiot, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild, man. It's wild. I appreciate the call. Let's go to Betty in the borough. Betty, what do you think?
Hi. Well, I think that they're going to replace him with Michelle Obama, too. And I remember reading whenever Obama was running where she had said that she hated America. I think that was her statement. But I'm worried, but I'm hoping and praying that Trump, because he's our only hope, will be president. And he's the only one, I believe, that hasn't taken a salary the whole term that he was in.
Yep, he's actually the only president that went into office and left office with less net worth than before he went in.
Yeah, most of them, the Democrats up there, and I'm sure some Republicans too, up in the Senate and the Congress, they all gotten rich. A lot of them have gotten very wealthy for being where they're at.
Yeah, I saw a tweet yesterday. And it was Nancy Pelosi was defending Joe Biden on the news and saying, he's the best chancellor we got. And I saw somebody tweet underneath the clip and said, just shut up and tell us what stocks to buy.
Yeah, really.
Honestly. Hey, appreciate your call, Betty. Thank you so much. Let's go to Jim in Brentwood. You're up next on Super Talk. What's up, Jim?
Hey, bud. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, I've got a coworker that I'm pretty good at debunking her conspiracy theories. And now she's got a conspiracy theory she's been trying to drill into me that this is not the real Biden we're looking at, that he's been replaced. I was trying to get your thought on that.
I mean, I've heard this before as well. I don't know. I think if they were going to replace him, they would replace him with someone more coherent.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't this? Why would you replace him with a worse version? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's how conspiracies go, right?
Yeah. I mean, listen, when it comes to like body doubles or the mask technology that they have out there, I think that everybody can agree that it's super advanced. Like, I could probably put on a latex mask and a suit, and people might think that I look like Joe Biden. And presidents having body doubles makes sense. And there's historical accuracy going all the way back to George Washington, right? But I don't know why you would replace Joe Biden with someone who is worse than Joe Biden.
That's been my argument. Then the next one she had, of course, is it's not really Michelle Obama. It's a man, Michael. Yeah, I haven't heard that one either.
You haven't heard that one? I thought that rumor was a matter of public record. I mean, you see the shoulders on her?
Yeah.
I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
Big strong shoulders.
Yeah. So I was able to debunk her on 3 of them. I'm going to still work on these other ones, and she still says we didn't land on the moon, and I can't have that.
Well, listen, you know the best way to debunk her on the Michelle Obama one is you just find a picture of Michelle pregnant.
Yeah.
And you just show her that. And
there isn't one.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know when you find it.
Check under the skirt. Yeah. All right, bud. Well, hey, thank you for your info.
Yep. Yeah. Anytime, Jim. Appreciate you calling. Did you hear the person in the background say there isn't one?
I heard that, and then the wild laughter in the background.
That's the joke. Find a picture of her pregnant.
It's a little hard.
I don't make the internet. I just search it. There's no pictures.
I'm just saying, it's easier to find that we have actual UFOs in the sky than you can find a picture of Michelle Obama pregnant.
Honestly, there were UFOs over Red Rock the other night.
Yeah.
This is we didn't choose this life. It chose us.
Yep.
Bobby in Nashville, you're next on Super Talk. What's up, Bob?
Hey, brother, you guys do an excellent job. Let me get that off my chest right quick. But your lady caller 2 calls ago, she said our only hope is Trump.
Yes, sir.
Your only hope is Almighty God.
Amen.
That's who we start with first, and then we'll go to Trump. But let me ask you this. You said earlier about containing the Senate, containing Congress with the Republicans. I mean, that's going to be great, but if we can get them to do something when they get in there. And number three,
Yep.
let me ask you where all that COVID money went with the lady that was, who was it, the teachers union lady? You know what they do? They get all that money, and then they just turn around and they give it back to the Democrats when they run for office.
Yeah.
That's where they get their money at. So what's your view on all that?
I mean, I guess I would. Which point specifically would be my question? You had a few right there at the end. I mean, yeah, I don't trust the Democrats. I don't think that Joe Biden is their choice. I think that Michelle Obama would be the best replacement choice. But I don't know if Michelle wants the gig. I don't know if she wants the gig. Well, I'll ask Murphy what he thinks when he gets in here. We're gonna check in with Murphy, see what's coming up on Murphy's show next. Hang out with us. It's 11:48 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. 11:55 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Normally, I'm so excited for Murphy to come in. But I don't know if you heard his show yesterday. He said that this is America Week, and he's going to be wearing patriotic-themed gear all week long. And he walks in here today, and he has no patriotic gear. In fact, he's wearing a shirt.
Spoken like a Canadian.
He's wearing a shirt that looks like it was made in China.
This shirt was not made in China, sir.
It looks like it looks like it was made in China.
This shirt was made in Alabama.
It looks like it looks like it was made in China.
Conecuh sausage.
The hat looks like it was made in China too.
No, sir. Hat says y'all on it, which you wouldn't know anything about. I'm sorry, you wouldn't know anything about. And you're wearing an indigenous people's shirt.
I am.
Or a hat, rather.
I got my Boston Braves old school offensive logos.
Hands just salty because he was all late today. And now he doesn't ever get to say, I've never been late.
What do you mean?
I saw you.
I'm not salty.
You're salty.
I got paid for a 3-hour show today.
I knew I should have been late. I knew I should have stopped by at 12. I mean, what are you going to do? Leave?
Yeah,
I mean, right?
You can't.
Right?
You
Dan's been here 28 hours and make him stay a little longer.
Poor Dan. I felt so bad.
You know, the worst part about that was not that Dan had done 9 hours and had to do a little more, but you forced him into a position where he didn't know necessarily what he was going to talk about, so he decided to admit that he loved St. Elmo's Fire.
The only time I've ever heard him actually talk about that is at 5 a.m. when it's early and he's still waking up a little bit.
So, in the interest of full disclosure, I got in the truck. It's Independence Week, and as I was driving out of the driveway, out of the neighborhood, I remembered that I had forgotten to put on patriotic clothing. But then I thought, well, I got my y'all hat on. What is more America than y'all? I got my Conecuh sausage shirt on. What is more America than Conecuh sausage? And I got my American flag. This was given to me by a loyal listener to this radio station. It's made in the USA. Look at it. It says made in the USA. It's all cloth. None of that plastic crap. God bless America. So there.
All right.
Okay, then.
So you think Joe Biden's going to be the president?
My take on this is if they do not want to pull the trigger, they believe that this will be a mess. It will be a mess because of Kamala Harris. The way to avoid the Kamala Harris mess is to insert Jill where Joe currently is. You keep the Biden-Harris ticket together, but you're just running the wife. There is historical precedent for this. I mean, Lurleen Wallace won the governorship in the state of Alabama in 1968 because her husband couldn't run again, right? And her husband was so popular. Now, I'm not saying Joe Biden's popular, but amongst Democrats, in order to galvanize the team, you got an all-woman ticket. They think that's a winning strategy for them. It's a long shot. It's a hot take, but it might take.
We're sending Joe home. Doctor's orders.
Oh, I could hear
Couldn't you hear it?
You know what? I can hear that on the. Can you hear that on the stump?
Well, I could hear it. And also, I guess Nancy Pelosi this morning is signaling that she's not really defending Joe Biden any longer.
Now, again, I think it's a legitimate question to say, is this an episode or is this a condition?
Is she talking about herself?
I think. Well, she sounded more sober this morning than she did
yesterday. The other day.
Did you hear her?
That was bad.
The vodka skeleton returns.
Apparently, whatever she's using on her teeth doesn't hold until the wee hours of the morning. Jeez. Or maybe it interacts with the vodka or whatever. No, I'm going to go over it. I love the liberal freak out over the immunity thing yesterday. It's been such a delicious 24 hours watching them freak out about it.
The salt has been so good.
And listening to the dark places that their minds immediately go. If you want to know what they're thinking, if you want to know what they want to do, listen to the way that they're talking about this decision by the United States Supreme Court. They're saying, Joe Biden can drone Donald Trump today? It's because they want that to happen. It's sick, but 100%, it's true.
100%.
But I'm going to go over a list of things that they want the American people to be able to sue Joe Biden about.
Perfect.
If they're correct in their assessment that the president does not enjoy limited immunity in official acts, I've got a list of things we need to sue Joe Biden about.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Are you tired of winning?
I'm tired of winning. No, I can do a little more winning.
We're going to win so much, you may...
No, I'm not tired. I don't think I'm tired.
Just slam out after this.
I'm not tired of winning yet. I love it.